You're listening to the Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast, in which a group of friends play Dungeons & Dragons on the internet for your amusement. This is episode number 407, recorded December 2021, posted July 2023. Library Police.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, he, him, Dungeon Master, and today we are continuing our Candlekeep adventures. That's right, we are playing Mazroth's Mighty Digressions, the second level 2 adventure in the Candlekeep Mysteries book that I'm holding in my little hands right now. I am joined by a returning group of players as we resume this adventure in progress. I will introduce the players, they will introduce their characters, and then I will attempt to do a little recap of what's been happening because it's been a while since we played. First up, it's Erica Ensign.
Hello, I am playing Fritat Ha, a Goliath barbarian who is surprisingly intelligent, and our pronouns are she, her.
Next up, it's James Thompson.
I am playing Nyasa Nightweaver, she, her, who is a high elf rogue who picked the wrong city to lay low in.
Also joining us, Monty Ashley.
Hello, I am playing Townley Mountain Taker, he, him, a humble human who was given magic eyes by the Queen of Air and Darkness.
I'd forgotten the whole magic eye thing.
I'm going to hammer it home.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Also joining us, Aline Sims.
Hi, I play Lapis, the Tabaxi cleric, and our pronouns are she, her.
And last, but certainly not least, Tiff Arment and sidekick.
Hi, I am playing Paulie Courts, rock gnome, and he has a little sidekick named Little Antony, who
That's
is,
true.
I forgot actually what he is, but he's a little creeper, and I love him.
I think he's a quasit. Does
Yes.
that sound right? He's
yeah,
like a little.
we talked about that. That's right.
I think he's like basically the smallest. Oh, I'm gonna get mail. In D&D, there's a whole thing about devils versus demons and where they come from.
He's a little cute demon. Quasit. He's Quasit.
He's a quasit.
Right, and he has a whole...
Quasits are demons.
Didn't you give me a whole sheet on him before?
Probably.
Can you give that to me again?
Yeah, probably.
All right. A tiny fiend.
Tiny fiend. He is a demon, not a devil. There's a whole war between demons and devils. It's a whole thing.
And he's chaotic evil.
Yeah.
Which he is, because he devoured a rat last time.
I mean, that's first of all, that's not chaotic evil. That's nature. Second, I prefer to think of him as chaotic misunderstood.
I love it. I love it.
My alignment chart is a little bit more complicated than what comes in the books. All right, what are we up to in this adventure? We're playing Mazroth's Mighty Digressions. It has been several months since we first started this adventure, and so I will remind myself and you. The premise of this adventure is that books are attacking people in Candlekeep Library. You are attacked by one such book, and as such are kind of on the hook for the destruction of a book that you killed in self-defense. I mean, it basically was not a book so much as some kind of monster in book form. Apparently that was not the first book to do that in Candlekeep. You talked to some other people who had the misfortune of bringing books into Candlekeep that attacked people and then getting in trouble for it. You have tracked the source of these treacherous texts back to the nearby city of Baldur's Gate, and specifically a booksellers in the marketplace known as Amberdune Books. I am phrasing these things in the form of a question for you to tell me if I have said anything incorrect so far that you remember differently.
You assume that we remember anything.
Hey, if you remember nothing, that's fine. Blank slate.
My notes say Amberdune Books.
Yep, Amberdune Books.
Which was in a kind of an alley off of the marketplace.
And we had found the title of the book that we needed.
Yes. Yes, specifically, so I believe...
Well, a poster of the book, right?
Yes. I believe, who is it? Nyasa, you were in conversation with one of the booksellers in Amberdune Books. There are two booksellers there, and you were talking to Rama, who is kind of a used car salesman-esque bookseller. And they have a lot of their kind of, their common books are just there on the bookstall, but they have their specialty order fancy books that you had engaged Rama in conversation about, and Rama had promised you that they're basically available, same day delivery, or depending on what time of day, later that day. And I had given you a list of books that I am hurriedly looking up again in case you asked me what that list was. But on it included the book in question that attacked you, Mazroth's Mighty Digression, which is also the name of the adventure, and the name of several books that had also attacked people in Candlekeep, which could all just be a coincidence. But I believe we were in mid-conversation with Rama the bookseller here in the stall, Amber Dune Books, which is kind of a set up for the day, to take down at the night alley bookshop in the general marketplace in Baldur's Gate. The rest of you, I assume, are nearby, perhaps just across the alley from Amber Dune Books, should anything go astray.
From what I remember, there was prices quoted, and they were extremely high, and we didn't have that kind of money.
Mm-hmm.
I should have remembered what they were exactly, but they were in the hundreds of gold pieces, I believe.
Yeah.
I feel like it was like 400 gold pieces or something ridiculous like that.
Basically,
So now we have to solve your book buying puzzle.
well, it's like, unless we sell Little Anthony, I don't think we're going to get the money.
Oh, 450 gold pieces is what we were quoted. I just found my notes. So 450
Nice.
gold
Thank you.
pieces. Yep.
That seems like a lot.
Mhm.
Says Tony, the Dungeon Master. So Rama says, yeah. So as you can see, ma'am, we have a nice selection of some of your more esoteric titles. Again, I don't have any of these on site, but you let me know, and I will scurry back to our warehouse and can have these arranged. Could have any of these available to you today or first thing tomorrow. But please, I'll give you a moment to peruse this and think about your selection. Obviously, a book is an investment in oneself, and I would not want you to take this lightly.
Yeah, I think I'm going to confer with my associates, and because we all want books.
Mhm. Yes, let's step away and see if we can pool our resources.
Okay, you step away.
I want to be able
Rama
to
goes
talk
back to
without Rama.
trying to accost other people passing by his dingy bookstore to sell them on books. And I forget, did I show you art of what this looks like?
Mhm.
Probably.
Do it again.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Dance monkey. Hey, look at
There
him.
you
right.
go.
Yes.
Yep.
Hey, Gaston.
Yeah. No kidding.
It's D&D. Everybody looks like, Gaston.
A Disney
Gaston just
character.
looks like generic funny fantasy guy. It's like,
Okay, so I say to the group, so if somebody is going to scurry back to the warehouse and get the books,
Mhm.
then would it be possible for some of us or all of us, probably I'm not particularly sneaky, to follow and find out where the books are kept?
I have. Oh, all right. I gotta do this in character. All right. Hey, I got a great idea. Little Anthony can go invisible and can totally follow this dude to his warehouse. I'm pretty good at warehouses, but I mean, I'm a little suspicious.
What's involved in being good at warehouses?
You don't want to know.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes they
I
burn
was just
down.
going to ask, how fast is little Anthony? Like, I figure, he's got short little legs, but his speed is 40 feet. So, yeah, I guess he can follow.
Does
He
he
can
fly?
follow
scamper.
books.
He scampers like the best of them.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, I don't have a saplock handy, but I think we all know that the standard speed of a bookseller is 30 feet. So, yeah, no problem.
Can little Anthony fly or?
Oh, he sure can. He can change into a bat-like creature.
A bat-like creature.
Can that creature then also become invisible?
It doesn't say that he can't.
Sweet. So, that seems like a really smart way to do it, because then he doesn't have to scamper around people's feet or anything.
All we got to find out is if we got to pay this fool up front.
Yeah.
Maybe we could negotiate to pay part of it up front.
Anyone
Yeah.
really good at the persuading?
Yep. Pretty good.
Meh.
I could help somebody else with persuasion.
I'm a +6 on persuasion. So
Oh, yeah.
That is pretty good.
I'm
That's
only +1.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
I'm going
think
with you.
I think you're too good, and somebody who's less good at it should do the talking.
Well, that's an interesting strategy. But
Roll persuasion money on these.
You're gonna have to roll it on
persuade
all
any
of
of
us.
9.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what
think
James' anti-persuasion stats
Uh,
are.
I think we should explore all the options. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm just being silly.
well, I rolled a 1, so
You rolled a 1 to persuade us. You're not talking to him yet, right?
no.
but-
This is just between Monty and I. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I am presenting the option of somebody else talking to this guy.
I mean, like, I think everyone should get a go. I'm happy to like. Monty,
I do think we should at least start with it's Nyasa. Is that right?
yes.
And have somebody else help so that we give advantage.
How much money do we have? Because if these things are 450, why don't we suggest giving them like, I don't know,
A quarter
or something?
A tiny bit. I don't actually know how much. I don't know that you told me how much I should start with in gold, Tony. So I don't even know if I have anything listed. I assume I have some.
I have the 10 gold I started with when I created the character.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably around 10 or 15, unless your background
I
is that
probably
you're
have quite a bit
wealthy.
from the previous adventure.
That obviously you say with the tone of your voice that suggests that you have not tracked it.
Well, I mean, somebody tracked it.
Is that true?
Well, by somebody I mean Mr. YouTube has.
Oh, we have a recording of it. Okay.
But I think.
While you're tracking, I will say I have a spell that will let me see creatures. So once I could do it now, and we could see if this book is a creature, or we could wait till we get to the warehouse and I can see if all the books are creatures.
Well, we don't get
and
the
to
book.
be clear, Monty, it seems to be like the main book area here is kind of what they've got for sale here is they're kind of generic books, paperbacks, which they're selling in the range of say 15, 20, 25, 30 gold pieces each. They don't have any of the fancy books.
All right.
Behind they claim not to have any of them behind the thing, so it's possible there could be things here that are creatures, but yeah.
I've definitely been to markets like this where you order something from a sheet of paper and a small urchin runs away and comes back with it.
Oh my God!
Is this?
You-
I can't
hey,
tell if
you
you're
guys.
making fun of Scotland or that's just your life.
Was I in character? Was that?
It's unclear.
Who
to me,
knows?
James.
Hey,
what is it, Polly?
Hey, you guys! I just
Use
remembered.
guys.
Use guys.
Thank you.
I'm kind of. I have some magic. Crazy.
Oh.
And I can like charm people. I know I'm really charming, but like I could use magic to do more extra charming.
Wow.
I like that idea. I know that the typical charm spell wears off after an hour and then the person knows they've been charmed. We might not want to do that if the warehouse is more than an hour away.
Oh, come on.
It is unlikely to be more than an hour away.
I mean, can we like double up here? Can we like charm
I mean,
and persuade?
they offer same day delivery. It can't be that far. Is what I'm saying. I will just mention because I'm very good at introducing complications to all player plans.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, you're in a city, and there are laws.
Laws.
And using magic against somebody would probably technically fall under the illegal
Man,
kind of.
that's the kind
kind
of thinking that leads to charm never getting used on anything.
I know. I'm just saying. A
Others-
variety
Except
of your
outside the city
characters
limits.
may not care.
I mean, it's either that or earth tremor. So I don't know.
I mean, are there any laws about observing somebody with a hidden closet?
No, probably not.
Yeah,
That's just
following
creepy.
people, totally legal.
That sounds real rude.
Yeah, rude, but not legal. Look, the law, it's a simpler time. They try to keep it so that the crimes only fit on a, one piece of paper kind of situation.
No murder, no charm.
Does anyone have can anyone disguise themselves? Here's what I'm thinking. We walk around the corner and then somebody who looks rich walks up and says, "I say, good man, one of your finest books. Toot sweet."
Frittata, the 8-foot tall Goliath barbarian, says, "It probably shouldn't be me."
Tall people can be rich.
Oh, I just can't disguise myself very well.
Oh, okay.
Shaquille O'Neal, for example.
Yeah. Let's name other tall rich people.
I mean, is anybody good at disguising themselves? I am not.
I am looking. I do have.
We are doing the thing where it's been a while, so people don't remember what they can do, let alone what the rest of the party could do. Do you want to quickly remind your
I'm new here. I don't know
we
any
did
of
it in
these
the
people.
intro. Just like what class of character you even have, since we have a mix of magic users and non-magic users. Erica, what is Frittata again?
Frittata is a Goliath barbarian, but
Barbarian.
I'm in
Got it.
search of my my missing brother, and
Well, I didn't
I
ask
have
for your
been
backstory.
studying. I've been studying poetry and books all this time.
Oh, books.
So right. So this particular adventure is right up my alley,
Oh.
but I don't have any magic to help.
I
with.
will look for my missing brother as soon as I finish this great poem.
Oh, I have Fey Presence. Where once per short rest, as an action, I can cause each creature in a 10-foot cube from me to make a wisdom save or become charmed or frightened by me until the end of my next turn.
Oh,
And
you
that
can get
does
both
not,
of them.
That does not say anything about them knowing it happened when it's done. I just walk in and my eyes glow green, and they're charmed by me for one turn.
So you have a variety of ways. I think I'm just to help you out here. I think you have a variety of plausible ways that you could deal with this in terms of your ability to track this person, track them with a invisible demon, or charm them. So there's a lot, and in fact, perhaps it sounds like you may be leaning toward combining plans because your goal is to order a book without fronting very much money, and then track him to the book warehouse. Am I piecing together things correctly?
Yeah, I think if we could persuade them to take a certain amount up front.
I think it's unlikely that you would be required to pay full price.
No,
up
because
front for,
we know what it's like
this
in
is
these kind
Baldur's
of
Gate.
markets.
Yeah. I think it's simply a question of what is the what kind of deposit is.
I do not trust the
required.
smile of this bookseller.
That is wow, just real.
Well, someone better start talking to
Elitist.
Gaston over here.
Yeah.
Do we have a name for this person, or is it now just Gaston?
Gaston.
Rama.
Rama. Gaston.
His middle, he goes by Gaston. His middle name is Gaston.
Yes.
All right, I'm going.
Rama Gaston Amberdew.
I'm going for it.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Townley steps forward. Hello, and welcome to Amberdune Books. Can I interest you in literature?
What literature do you have that's written in language no one can read?
I mean, I think all of our books are prized for being able to be read by at least one language. No one has ever asked me this before.
Interesting. I'd like a copy of Mazareth's Mighty Digressions, please.
Oh, excellent choice.
Thank you.
He takes like a little special order sheet out from behind the counter and puts it on here and says, "Now this is one of our special deluxe books, limited edition, guaranteed original. And I don't have this here in the stall, but I can arrange to have this here within an hour for you, sir. Now, the price of this book," and he shows you the price listing for the fancy books, the sticker price is 450 gold pieces.
Well, I'll just buy one then.
Yes. Very good, sir. I will need a deposit before I fetch that. And would you like that delivered here, or perhaps to your place of business or lodgings here in Baldur's Gate?
I will make my eyes glow green and attempt Fey Presence, which, as we just established, requires a Wisdom save.
You want this
DC 13.
Individual to make a Wisdom save?
Yes.
I have rolled an 11 for Rama Gaston Amberdune, bookseller.
He is charmed by me for the next 6 seconds.
You could have led with that.
He did.
I said
He did.
I said it was one turn.
Your eyes are amazing.
Thank you.
I hope that's not too forward of me to mention.
Thank you. Why don't you bring the book here, and then when I see it, I'll see if I want more. And I'll show him 2 gold.
And I will just remind, and the mechanics of
the
charm
thing
in
means
D&D.
money.
Yeah, money. I'm just reminding myself, charmed in D&D, I believe specifically means they won't attack you.
Sweet.
Unlikely to happen in this situation. Or target you with other harmful abilities or magical effects. You have advantage on any ability checks to interact socially with the creature. And I think basically...
Like a persuasion.
Persuasion.
Ooh.
And someone that doesn't know you basically regards you as a friendly acquaintance. Not a best friend, but better than a coworker, but not, they're not going to marry you. Townley, why don't you give us give us a start this
They
off.
could eventually.
Yeah, work up to that. There's only last 6 seconds. So,
Quick, someone persuade him.
Every relationship starts somewhere.
Townley, why don't you do a quick persuasion check with advantage?
I rolled 2 5s, so 8.
Nyasa, step in and say something.
Yep.
Damn it, Townsley.
Nyasa steps in quickly, pushes Townley aside, and says,
Are you two together?
Nope.
Yes.
I mean...
He already knows we are. Don't start fucking lying to him.
I mean, we're together, but we're not together is what I meant.
The classic no and improvisation technique.
I tried to elbow Nyasa in the ribs, but I'm so tall, so I actually do it in the shoulder.
Elbow her in the ear.
Yeah.
I just meant we weren't a couple. Yes, we're together.
Townley's super insulted by that, probably. You answered really fast.
I
You would be lucky.
You tell him.
Not my type.
You only have seconds of charm left.
So
and you're doing this.
But there's still persuasion. There's still straight up
persuasion. You're spending it, defining a relationship status for this random merchant.
It's complicated.
Hey, I've actually seen that works. It's a distraction technique. You argue back and forth, and it just puts them off.
Yeah. And so I'll say...
Well, we are headed toward being put off, yes. So,
So how about that book?
Yes. Could you, as my acquaintance suggests, it would be very nice of you if you could bring the book so that we could establish its quality before we hand over the money.
All right, give me a quick persuasion check.
Okay.
And I'm standing there. I would like to help so that you get advantage.
Yes, you have advantage.
Basically,
well,
just standing over.
I don't think I need it because I rolled a 19 plus 6. 25.
You could always roll a 20 if you roll again.
Well, I'll do it later. Yeah, let's
Get
try
one
it.
more.
It's okay.
No, let's try it.
All right.
No, I got a 9.
Okay.
All right. Robert said, well, normally there would be a deposit, but I won't waste any more of your time. I will be back here within the hour. All right. This I promise to you. He looks at you intently in the eyes, Townley, seeming to have already forgotten about Nyasa, despite the fact that, that was who persuaded him to do this.
I'm looking very closely to see, if he's leaving, if somebody else is leaving.
He seems to be doing it. He is putting on his coat while maintaining intense eye contact with Townley the entire time.
While this is happening, little Antony has turned into a bat, or a beast that resembles a bat, and
a bat-like creature.
Also has gone invisible and is ready to follow. And we have that psychic link, so he could tell me.
I like that we have a stealth
Excellent.
drone. This is just
It's great.
Picking up little Antony was the best decision ever.
It's going to be tragic when he dies. Rama, Gaston, Amberdoon heads out from the shop. There is another bookkeeper at the back, kind of a middle-aged woman who is minding things, and he lets her know that he'll be back as soon as he can. And he scampers off away from the alley into the streets of Baldur's Gate. Little Antony is going to trail him as an invisible flying object.
I will say to the lady that's left, we will be back in an hour, so that we can sort of move away from the bookstall in whichever direction, taking Polly's lead, so that I don't know how far your bond with Little Antony.
Ooh, we could do a lead and follow.
Yeah, because we don't want Little Antony to go so far that you can't still have that psychic link. So I feel like we should slowly kind of just meander in that direction.
Plus, we want to go to the warehouse. So
Okay, I had forgotten what the second half of your plan was, so this is all news to me.
Yeah, I think we would like to be at the warehouse at some point. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have
All right, you-
I need to pull up the stats for a familiar to see how far that psychic link works, because that's where the psychic link is coming from.
Okay. I don't know what it is, but
I
we'll
could look
assume
it
that
up.
you stay within it. Yeah, you look it up. I assume that it is easy for you basically to stay out of sight of Rama Gaston Amberdoon while following him with an invisible familiar.
I know if you summon a steed, it's a mile. So if a familiar is the same as that.
Are we in 5th edition?
Within 100 feet, you can communicate with it telepathically.
Oh, so that's not super far.
Well, they said an hour to go and come back, so it's half an hour away distance. So,
And I mean, little Antony will know how to find Polly, even if we lose.
Yeah,
lose
he could
track,
probably
and then
lead
could
us
just lead us
back.
back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this guy is not. I mean, he's trying to move through a crowded city streets. He's, you have no trouble keeping pace with him.
Okay.
He's not on a horse.
And as an action, you can
anything.
see through its eyes and hear what it hears, although you will not be able to see and hear through your eyes and ears when that happens.
We wouldn't lead you wrong.
Yeah. All right. Little Antony / Polly follows Rama through the crowded streets of Baldur's Gate. As a reminder, you were in the marketplace in the upper city. That's the kind of really rich, fancy part of Baldur's Gate. And Rama seems to be headed kind of back the way all of you came, toward the main gates on this side of Baldur's Gate that lead out of the city. I'm going to assume that you follow him unless you tell me that you're not. So he makes his way across the upper city and passes through the main gates there, out of Baldur's Gate. But on the other side of the city walls, there is a rather kind of sprawling neighborhood. This is known as Blackgate because it's next to the Blackgate. And Blackgate is kind of, unfortunately, the rather rundown, slummy part of Baldur's Gate where lots of new arrivals in Baldur's Gate set up homes or businesses for people who basically can't afford to take up space inside the city. So this is perhaps even more downtrodden than the lower city of Baldur's Gate, the neighborhood of Blackgate outside the walls of Baldur's Gate. So Rama does seem to be checking over his shoulder occasionally, but he is not able to detect an invisible bat-like creature, and so he is making his way through the kind of cramped, dingy streets of Blackgate, which is, more like a slum than anything, and makes his way to a kind of small, square, shack-like building, and goes inside. This is not a warehouse. This is... Neither the word ware nor house is applicable here. The word hovel comes to mind. It is a square single-story building, flat roof. It's got a door and a couple windows. It would be a big shack. It would be, I don't think they have garages in D&D world, but it would be kind of a garage-sized structure.
1 car, 2 car.
Yeah. This is like a 2-car garage.
Cart. It's a 2-cart garage.
2-cart garage.
cart
Thank
plus
you.
horse in one.
And Rama disappears inside that. I don't think little Antony could follow into the structure without potentially running the risk of being detected.
Wait,
that is
little Antony can also turn into a centipede.
Little Antony could also turn into a centipede. I was gonna confirm with you if little Antony wanted to go inside. For all you know, this building is full of centipede-eating monsters.
They're called cats.
Yeah.
I think little Antony does go inside. He's ambitious.
Do you want me to show you the map of this building before you decide anything?
Sure.
What? Why do I say it with such? I don't.
I mean,
this to
he's an
make it sound-
invisible centipede. What's gonna happen?
Mhm.
I mean, all he has to do is
he's
poke
still
his
an
little
invisible?
centipede
Yeah,
head under the door.
he's invisible until he attacks or his concentration ends.
We're just going to solve this whole mystery with an invisible centipede.
We'll do nothing.
I mean,
Honestly, that would be amazing.
Job well done, us.
All right. There should be a map loading for you. Hopefully, if I've set this up right, you can see like the kind of there's a square building that you can't see inside. There's your characters are on the street next to it. Hopefully I put your tokens there appropriately. That'll look right.
Yeah, I mean, if Lil Antony solves this all for us, that's working smarter, not harder.
I
Yeah.
mean, we
All right.
picked him up in the first place, right? So I feel like
It's
true.
with this whole thing.
I mean, you get credit for him. The door into the structure is on the south side. There doesn't seem to be any other doors into the structure. I think there's probably at least one or more windows, though. Yeah, there's probably some windows.
You
or
said
at least,
a couple.
if not windows, cracks. Because this is not, this is really kind of a shambly looking. I don't know if they had plywood in D&D terms, but I think this would be a kind of a plywood cement brick kind of structure here. So we'll assume that you all kind of arrive there, and Little Antony has kept watch so that you know that Rama has been in there for less than a minute and has not left yet. So you could certainly send Little Antony in there to follow him if you were so inclined.
I kind of want to just wait
Yeah.
until he leaves to go take the book back and then go in. So I don't think we should be hanging out right outside the building. I think we should hang back, folks.
There are plenty of places to find a place to hide here in Blackgate. The slums outside Baldur's Gate.
So can we say that we could say we're all hiding right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
You want to wait until he Rama scampers back with a
I mean, do we care
I'm-
about him? Do we want the actual book, or do we want to just scout out?
Yeah, what's our
here?
mission here? I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, your mission broadly is why are books attacking people in Candlekeep? Certainly the people, the avowed, the book, the librarians and scholars and sages of Candlekeep would love for the books that attack people to be replaced with legitimate copies of the books. They probably don't want more monsters that attack people inside Candlekeep. So yeah, I think Monty, you were going to say something. I interrupted.
I think we should let him leave, then we investigate the shack, and if that works out poorly, then we go back to the bookseller and say, oh, sorry, we got distracted eating crepes.
I
happens.
agree with I agree.
Classic rich people
I
distraction.
was going to
Yes.
say, are there any laws in this particular area of town about knocking somebody over the head and dragging them into a bush?
Well, you are, you're not within the city, so this does seem to be a much less kind of policed part of Baldur's Gate because it's not technically inside Baldur's Gate. You have not seen any city watch guards on patrol here in Blackgate. It is possible that that does not mean you wouldn't be perhaps victim to frontier justice, or it is.
We know where to find him.
This is a heavily populated slum, so it is unlikely that you could do such a thing without being detected. The question is, would the people or persons that detect you do anything about
I
it?
don't see
Tata
any
has a good
benefit.
point. Yeah.
And
To-
is it the right thing to do?
Define
Yes.
right.
Oh yeah.
I don't care about that.
Oh yeah. Morality.
Yeah, I think because if we let him go, we know we have at least basically an hour minimum for him to go all the way there, and then if for some reason he decides to come back, to come all the way back. So
Yeah.
it is also possible that this fellow is under some sort of spell and is not knowing what he's doing, and the source of all that could lie inside this building,
I mean, I
where an
wasn't
invisible
suggesting.
centipede is going to scout for us.
I wasn't suggesting we
Yep.
kill him. Wasn't.
But I think if he's
I think-
not back in an hour, they're going to be suspicious because there's other people at the
yeah. Okay.
booth.
Fine.
Yeah, they may
w-
send more.
Let him walk.
Yeah, I agree with Monty. Let's stick with the crepe story.
Okay.
Yep.
That is also a relatively plausible non-murderous
Words to
thing.
live by.
There was no murder.
I would not make you roll a persuasion check on that. It'd just be like, yeah, I got distracted. I'm here now. All right. So a few minutes pass, and you see Rama emerge from the same door. He seems to be carrying kind of a satchel that looks like it could have a good-sized book in it. And he closes the door behind him and scurries off with a look on his face that suggests that he has got an imminent payday as he heads back to Amber Dune Books inside Baldur's Gate.
So if we're
So-
like 100 feet from the building, or not we, Polly specifically, is within 100 feet, does Polly able to actually watch what he's doing inside through the eyes of Lil Annie?
You can see through your familiar's eyes and hear what it hears until the start of your next turn. as an action. So,
And
yes.
is there a limit on how many times you can do that? Or can you just keep doing that?
I think you
I can
keep
also
doing that.
gain the
Go-
benefits of any special senses of the familiar, and
What special senses do
but I'm
centipedes
deaf and
have?
blind regards to my own senses while I'm doing that.
Mhm.
Centipede
I
sense.
will-
I will say,
I say, Frittata says, I will guard you during this time.
I think the ship has sailed on trying to know what Rama has done inside the shack. He is
Why?
he is come and
Because
gone.
Tiff specifically said
Oh,
Lil Antony is going to follow him inside
As
as an invisible centipede. Mhm.
all right, as an invisible centipede. So tell me where, and you should be able to control Little Antony on the map if I did it correctly. Tiff, where's Little Antony going? In invisible
He's going
centipede
to centipede himself under the door. I'm assuming there's some sort of gap.
form. Mm-hmm. Yep,
And
there's at least a centipede-sized gap.
and he's going to kind of
Um,
hover like on the brink of the door, just like peeking in.
All right, peeking in.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
So I can
what
see
is
like
in
what
here.
he sees.
Yeah.
And I'm keeping a close eye on Polly just to make sure nobody like tries
All
to knock you over.
So, Little Antony peers under the door into the shack. The door does not, again, this is not fine dwarven craftsmanship. This is Baldur's Gate hovel craftsmanship. So there's like a good 2-inch crack under the door that Little Antony can peer under with his little centipede eyes. And Little Antony looks into what appears to be kind of a common room here inside this shack. It does seem like it's a big enough shack that there are multiple chambers to it. And looking around, Little Antony sees a bunch of kind of mismatched chairs scattered around this common area. There's a couple of mugs and plates on a small circular table in the center of the space. There's a rather tattered and faded rug on the wooden floor. I would say that Little Antony can probably hear. Centipedes have ears, right? Or sense of
They
hearing.
don't have ears.
Well,
That looks
sorry.
really weird.
Oh. There is. It sounds like there might be some kind of kitchen off of the common room where there are creatures making noise because kitchens are noisy places. There's a door ajar to the north side of the common room where Little Antony can see that Rama just headed through.
All right, Little Antony kind of scurries along the edge of the wall and follows him to the next door and peeks under that door.
All right. The next door, there is a long rectangular room here with a bunch of beds in it. And Little Antony can see Rama heading through a door down at the end of that room to the north that way. There is another unopened door right across kind of the hallway from where Little Antony is. There are, I'm going to say there's at least 2 creatures, 2 humanoids asleep on these beds up against the wall here.
Should we keep going?
Yeah, I mean, what's the worst that could happen to us?
Nothing to us. Poor Little Antony. He is invisible though. Okay.
All right.
All right. So he's going to centipede his way. He's gonna go like kind of under the bed so he doesn't get like seen. Like,
Okay.
but I mean he is invisible just in case.
Also invisible. Yep.
And he's gonna peek through that door.
Okay, you're gonna go over there. Okay, Little Antony is looking into a room that looks kind of like an office. Let's see here, and Little Antony can see Rama talking to a woman who's wearing kind of robes. She is somewhat intimidating looking, depending on how Little Antony feels about her. Let's see here.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
She's got kind of a lot of pointy teeth that might have been filed into kind of
Little Antony is
points.
intrigued because her teeth look like his teeth.
Yeah, she looks like she's
Aw.
in a good mood.
Yeah.
She's so happy.
Well, she is. Rama is there and says, "We got another special order, boss." And the woman says, "Good job, Rama. I knew I could count on you. Which one?" And Rama says, "I need another copy of Matzroth's Mighty Digressions." And you see the woman. She kind of pushes the desk aside and moves the desk a little bit, slides it to reveal a hatch in the floor, and she opens up the hatch, says, "Wait here," and to Rama, and descends into the hatch, returns with a book that she wraps in kind of a piece of velvet and hands to Rama, which he stashes in a messenger bag that he was holding. And the woman says to him, "Make sure to return with the payment right away. I don't like to keep that kind of funds at the store itself." And Rama says, "Of course, boss." And Rama goes to leave with a book in his hands.
Little Antony kind of like backs up and like so he doesn't get stepped on.
Yep.
As a centipede.
The number one risk to being an invisible centipede. Yep.
So yeah, he's kind of backing up, and he's just going to peek his head under the door of this room before he leaves.
Okay. All right. You peek your head under that door. I'm going to assume that Rama might pass by Little Antony on his way out. Little Antony is looking into a kind of a storage room, and there is an old man in there kind of organizing some books. There's some crates and some shelves lined with books. It looks like the bookshelves are mainly empty. It looks like this might be where Amber Dune booksellers keeps their books at night. So there's an old man in there kind of organizing the back stock and doing some paperwork. A lot of crates and empty shelves.
Oh, it's their bedroom?
What was that?
It's the book's bedroom.
Oh, it's the book's
Book
bedroom.
bedroom.
Yes.
Sure.
All right. Okay, so little Antony's going to make his way out and back to the group. And
Okay.
I mean, if this is as hovelly a hovel as you said, he could probably just go straight through the wall and go find us.
okay,
Yeah,
he
there's-
came right through.
there's-
He saw a crack in the wall, and he's squeezed his
There's
way
a
through.
sizable crack in the foundation, and he heads off. So just to give you kind of to make sure I think I've got things okay in my head, there was a woman who seems they referred to as boss in the office. There was an old man in the storage room. There were two creatures asleep in the main central room, and then there was at least one creature doing noisy kitchen stuff in a kitchen in the southeast corner of the hovel. This is the hovel. Does that line up with my descriptions?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Rama heads off with dollar signs in his eye, or whatever the symbol for gold pieces in his eyes, intent to selling that book.
It's just gold
to
pieces.
a-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that we murder the two people in their beds while they sleep, but it would work.
Would it though? What if they have the information that we need?
What if this is just a bookseller, though?
Well, we know they're at least accomplices. Even if they're unknowing accomplices, that's still in the eyes of the law.
Thing. No. Oh, the law. That's what you're worried about now? The law?
The penalty for book forgery is murder.
Well, we're sort of weren't we employed to
What
be
is justice,
judge,
people?
jury, and
We
executioner?
just like fantasy bugged their. Or
I don't think
literally
you were
bugged.
employed so much as you thought this would be there'd be a payday in it. You're not.
I mean, if there's nobody to tell the tale, we can tell whatever tale we want.
I would just point out this is your characters are all borderline sociopaths. This
Says you.
I'm being a jerk. This adventure puts you in a situation that is unusual for you in that you are next to a city, a place of law and order and civilization, where you have no idea how to act like a normal
Keywords
creature.
next to.
I
Yes,
have spent lots of my time in cities looking for people, so I think we should just knock on the door and question this woman.
What if we burnt the building down?
Then we wouldn't find our answer, and that would be ridiculous.
I like Frittata's solution better.
There's no bad ideas. Just
Yes,
there are some
yes,
bad
there
ideas.
are frittata glowers down.
The book, the hovel does look extremely flammable, though if you are taking it would be good to return books to Candlekeep that are missing solution, that books themselves are known for their flammability, so that would
That's true.
probably
grab the books,
not,
then set on fire. Okay.
Okay. And it does seem like you have reason to believe there are some books being held in a secret location beneath the office, where the boss was.
I'd say we go knock on the door and act like we are an official delegation from the library here to investigate the
inspectors.
books. And when they attack
Literally.
us, then it'll be self-defense when we murder them.
Good. I like that.
Mhm.
Use the law
Do you want to
to
do that?
justify our terrible, terrible actions.
I don't plan on making any terrible actions.
Well, I mean, it's only terrible in the eyes of some. I'm an ex-assassin. X.
X. That sounds.
Ish.
I'm sorry. It seems like you have a plan. No one
All right.
argued against that plan.
All right, shall we?
Yep.
Yes.
Book
Sure.
inspectors.
Yep.
All right. Frittata, you head over to the door to the shanty.
Yep. I will basically act as the sort of the muscle of the group. Nobody ever expects me to be as smart as I am. I've gotten used to this. I think somebody more, I don't know, charismatic should do the
You're
talking. and
very
do the
intimidating,
questioning.
though.
I do like to sort of, I can sort of stand behind and over whomever is doing the talking and glower and
We could do a sort of
interject when necessary.
good book inspector, bad book inspector kind of.
Mhm.
Do we want to all turn up?
Well,
or do we,
is Lapis, are you a
I think so.
bard?
Cleric.
Cleric.
Who is the most charismatic? I mean, I'm assuming it's Nyasa with a +6, but
Yeah. It's
for persuasion,
not
I only have a +1.
Yeah. I've got 15 charisma.
Whoa.
I have 16, but that's the same thing. Really.
Mhm.
Yeah. 12 with a +1 modifier.
Frittata says, I would feel more comfortable with Townley doing the talking. It gives a meaningful look to Nyasa.
I put my knives away.
Tony,
Why are you holding those? That's real dangerous to walk down the street with two knives out.
I need to have something in my hands, and just
It's
kind
a,
of
it's
like
a fidget spinner that just happens to be very sharp.
Yes, in the eyes of the law,
Those are called
it has
throwing
been
stars.
classified as a fidget toy.
Throwing stars, yeah.
all right, let's do it. I walk across the street, pound on the door. Pound, 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 pound. Library police, open up. Pound, pound, pound.
Townley and Frittata or the whole group?
I don't think there's any reason not to have us all come.
I'm going to hang around the corner because I feel slighted.
All right. So Townley and Frittata are at the front. The rest of you stand behind, trying to look tall and menacing. All right. A young woman opens the door. She's, like 5'2", and looks at you with kind of big eyes. Can I help you?
I push past her. Library police, official business.
All right. You push past into the. You're standing in the common room.
I follow in.
I wait here. I will get my boss. I don't know what's going on.
I do not wait for her.
Okay.
Nice. I'm right on Townley's heels.
It is
Yeah,
popping off.
I'm coming in.
Boss, yells the woman. Townley, you move into the room. There are two. There's I think it's a man and a woman in separate bunks who have kind of sat upright in their beds. An old man is sticking his head out of the storage room, and you march confidently? ?
Library police, everything's fine.
To the office at the back of the shack. The woman wearing the robes is standing behind her desk and looks up with you with not the same smile as depicted in the art, but a toothy looking look of
My
confusion.
whole plan was based on how good a mood she was in.
Oh, sorry. Well, I think nobody likes hearing library police yelled in their living room.
It's true.
Corvallis says, "What's all this commotion?"
Library police, ma'am, please open your hatch there.
Library police? I've never heard of such a thing. Let me see some identification.
I step forward and tower over her and say, I'm our identification. Open the hatch.
She is kind of standing, almost kind of like putting her weight on the desk that needs to be moved out of the way to the hatch, and says, this is some kind of shakedown, isn't it?
Maybe.
It wasn't. No, we're library police.
That I am increasingly
Man, we have
believing
tracked,
that is not a thing.
Man, we have tracked an outbreak of books that are monsters to this location.
That's 100% true. He doesn't even need to roll for deception.
No, he doesn't need to.
We are working on behalf of the library. So.
I know. I just
You
be
did-
straightforward about this.
All true.
Yeah, no. Townley, you see a look of kind of shock, and it quickly goes from confusion to everything may be falling apart around me. Flash over this woman's face. No insight check needed.
I rolled
she says,
intimidation, and I got a 21. Just FYI.
all right. She says she kind of takes her weight off the desk and standing next to the desk. Look, we can talk about this. I'm sure we can come to an arrangement.
Start talking. They all say it, you just...
Yeah. Okay. So what's the deal with the books that are monsters, lady?
Well, and just the woman is standing there in her office. I think probably the rest of her group has kind of piled into the hallway. So there is an old man and two kind of mid-20s women and a mid-20s man. So, I think technically you are evenly matched, but the old man does not look intimidating, and the young people just look confused. So there's 5 of you and 5 of them. I'm assuming that many of you are kind of squeezing into the doorway here, and she says, look.
That's what I thought.
Well, no, I will explain it. I didn't know that they would attack people. I was just trying to make some money. We are in a difficult situation here.
We need to do an insight check.
Look, I will practice radical candor. Our leader died, and we are trying to raise money so that we can have her resurrected.
Leader?
Oh, that's so sad. What?
Do
Yes.
a sarcasm
Leader of
check.
what?
The leader of our pack.
Pack?
Okay, Ellie
Does that
Greenwich.
mean anything?
Is this
Do I
Mr.
recognize her
Amberdoon?
as... Yeah, do I recognize her as being like a werewolf or something?
Rolo recognize somebody as being a werewolf.
7 plus something? I don't know.
It does occur to you that the woman in robes does have kind of strange kind of features, and as she says the word pack, you do notice like her hands are a little bit paw-like, and her features, it seems possible that this creature might not be a human.
Okay, I would like to roll insight and invite anybody else to see if she actually meant it when she said she didn't think the books would attack anybody, because to me that's important.
Okay.
Oh, that sucks. My insight is a -1, so that's a 4.
I got a 17.
Yeah. You feel like that her answer there was pretty
Right.
dodgy, Townley.
Oh. Well,
Look,
I was on her side for a second.
our leader, the great Nadalia. She taught me the ways of the Gigwatsum. We were creating these creatures. We were selling them as books. I just need to save up enough for a raise dead ritual. I apologize for any inconvenience. Obviously, some kind of restitution will be worked out here, but you can understand that we are in a little bit of a financial hardship to begin with, or we wouldn't have found ourselves in this situation.
Tony, how much is a raised dead ritual?
I believe that a raised dead ritual is more than 1,000 gold pieces.
I wanted to say it was like 2 or something.
They'd only have
Grand.
needed to have sold 3 books. And how
Yeah,
many
that's what I'm
attacks
saying.
were
Yeah.
there?
There were several attacks.
There have been at least 3 attacks, and there may be, there's probably...
Yeah, that's just the attacks of the books that got to the library.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So far.
there's overhead. They've got to pay to rent that bookstall.
I mean, they've got employees.
And this
they've
hovel.
This hovel. They've got they've got a pack of 7 somethings to feed.
I have a question about the.
This is not the Total Party Kill small business podcast.
I have a question about Baldur's Gate. I've traveled a lot. I've been in the cities a lot. Is there some sort of city guard or something that I feel like we could deliver this woman to, at least her, if not her, also her accomplices, and basically turn the matter over to the proper authorities and then report back to the library? Or do I think that there's some other way that this should be handled, given my knowledge?
There is certainly, Baldur's Gate has a city watch as well as a heavy mercenary presence. The Flaming Fist Mercenary Company is contracted to provide security throughout Baldur's Gate. You are just outside the gates to Baldur's Gate, so you're a little bit in a lawless area here, right next to civilization. You could probably turn them over to that. It's unclear what they would do with that, but that could make it somebody else's problem.
Ma'am, we're primarily here for the non-monster version of these books. Do you have non-monster versions of these books?
I might.
Do
That
you
seems like
have
restitution.
non-monster versions of these books?
Yes, well, I have the originals. That's what we make the copies from. But if I were to hand those over to you, I would be ruined.
If you were to
can see
hand
how
those
I'm in
over
a
to
bit
us,
of a bind here.
maybe we wouldn't hand you over to the authorities.
The
I say from directly
library
over her head.
The library authorities.
Is that the threat that you're making?
It's one of them.
Those of you in the hallway in the bunk room outside of the office notice that the creatures with you suddenly look slightly more animalistic than they did a second ago, and it seems like somebody in the hallway give me some kind of check.
I can do a perception.
I got
I'm in
an
the
18
kitchen.
to a perception check.
I got 19 on a perception.
These seem like these might be jackal wares.
Like
Jackal wares are
jackalopes.
Jackalope
People who turn
werewolves?
into jackalopes.
Yes!
No, they're people that turn into jackal humans, which is surprisingly disappointing compared to that.
You're the
Top-
DM. You can change it.
Are they turning into these things now?
They seem to be kind of like, like they're on edge and they're like slightly transforming. Like they suddenly look a little bit taller and like a lot shaggier as the tension in the room.
If we want to diffuse the situation, we get one shot at it. Otherwise, we're
Now
fighting.
you want to defuse the situation?
That was not the direction you were headed
No,
seconds ago.
I was saying if. I'm not saying personally.
If.
I want
There
to.
was an emphasis on the if there.
It was like, what does the group want to do versus what I would like to do? I wanted to kill them in their beds, and I said that they were bad. But she,
right,
like
I'm-
we know she's lying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Kind of.
Except that she might really have the books.
well, she's
Do
probably
we-
got the
ooh.
books, but
Oh yeah, in order to make the copies.
but her
Otherwise-
and she might want to be resurrecting her boss.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
No.
Yeah.
Um,
The ends do not justify the means.
These-
And what will they do next?
Lady, these monsters have killed people. You understand that, right?
Is that true? I think that's a lie.
Is
we
it?
believe it to be true.
I think it's a lie. I think these monsters have greatly inconvenienced librarians. It's the crime.
Oh, they haven't actually killed it. Okay.
Lady, these monsters
Yeah.
have killed people.
Okay.
Polly
I don't know any
changes
different.
into one of these jackal things.
Okay. Can Polly change physical mass
Yeah.
to be?
I have wild shape as an action.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking. I got Polly and Little Antony mixed
Oh,
up.
happens all the time.
It's-
Yeah, I was like,
That's
Little Antony can only be a
understandable.
small. Well, Little Antony can only be a small thing, so Little Antony could look like a little jackal. Little
you know-
Antony
So
could,
cute.
like a scale model.
You know how
of
owners and
Jackalware.
pets start to resemble one
Yeah.
another after a while? Like,
Yeah.
it's accelerated.
Okay, I'm cool with that. All right, so I'll wild shape.
And the woman, I don't know if we've gotten her name yet, but it starts to look a little more jackal-like and says, "I think you should leave before things get dangerous."
I think you should hand over those books before things get dangerous.
Way to de-escalate.
It is not going to happen.
I didn't say I was trying to de-escalate. I just didn't want to murder anybody in their sleep.
Can you try offering her another revenue stream?
I'm fine if they come at me.
Will our adventurers make it out of this hovel alive? Will they be murdered by jackalwares that they could have just been nicer to, and surely there was a non-violent way to solve this adventure, or not? It's unclear. Will Little Ant need do something ridiculous? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill.
The answer to that question is, of course.
Yeah.